How's it going? Good morning, everybody. What's up, Ted? What's up, Yola? Michelle, Sean, Sam, Mia, Ashant. It's so good to see all of you folks bright and early this morning. Well, bright and early for me. It's 9 a.m. Pacific time, and I'm super excited to jump into today's challenge. I also have a bit of a present for you guys, because I know that you guys have probably seen we're going to be working on promotional images today, and I have had kind of an idea that I wanted to work on for today, like a little extra added something something, and I've got something to give to you folks to use for the challenge today. So I'm gonna do like kind of a brief intro of the show. I should probably also introduce myself for those of you who don't know. My name is Voodoo Val. I am a regular to the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge here. I also do hosting and some painting streams and things like that. And for the last couple of weeks, we have been doing superhero and supervillain themed Photoshop Daily Creative Challenges. We've done a plethora of different things. We've done creating mood boards. We've created like superhero, supervillain emblems. We've created super masks. We have put like a supervillain tag on a brick wall. We have done so many cool things. We've been making mock-ups and all kinds of cool stuff. But today we are going to get into playing with text a little bit, and you guys can choose whether to go the hero or villain route as always. So if you are going the hero route, you can put out an ad in the paper for a superhero, but if you're going the villain route, like I'm going to be going today, you can make a wanted poster, which I think is going to be super cool. Who doesn't know Voodoo Val? You are so sweet, Ashant. You are so sweet. I'm not that famous, though. I'm just a nerd. What's up, Sithara? I love your name, by the way. I think it's fantastic. Frank, welcome in. It's good to see you again, my friends. Who else have I not greeted? Gerald, it's good to see you. Edward, Susan, hi. I hope everyone is excited for today. Ted says, uh-oh, tomorrow must be costume day. Ooh. Yes, I'm actually waiting for a piece of the costume to arrive in the mail. Otherwise, it would have been today. So hopefully that shows up. Otherwise, I'm going to throw something together. So tomorrow will indeed be costume day, because you're not going to get rid of me for this 2-week DCC on heroes and villains without seeing me in costume at least once, folks. It's just not going to happen. So real quick, I want to give a reminder, if you're over on YouTube, please pop over to behance.net/live, because that is where I am reading the chat, just in case you were wondering who the heck I'm greeting and who I'm saying hello to this morning. And to get started with me, all you have to do is go to behance.net/challenge/Photoshop, which looks like this. Make sure you are on the right page by checking the date span here. August 17th to August 28th is where we are working. And like I said, we did a lot of challenges already. Mood boards, emblem designs. We mocked up that cool superhero mask. We did a photo compositing challenge where we created a hero or villain. We did an onomatopoeia challenge where we created comic book pows and whams and made them into brushes and patterns. We made the calling card. We designed superpowers yesterday, and like I said, today is going to be the promotional image. It's going to be the newspaper ad calling all heroes, or it's going to be the wanted poster. And to jump into the challenge, if you need a little starting place, all you have to do is hit get started on today's challenge, like so. And it will bring you here where you can download the file that I have prepared for you. So that is all you need. And if you're going to be making the wanted poster, I'm also going to pull up the Discord and share something with you real quick. The Discord link is this right up here. If you go to bit.ly/PS Discord, make sure that P and S are capitalized so you go to the right server. You can jump in there. You can hang out with friends. You can post your awesome submissions so that it gets reviewed on the stream. And you will also now get this super nifty little thing that I am going to throw into the chat. So let me pop over here. I have a painting that I finished recently of a villain from a story of mine, and I thought that if you folks wanted to use it as the face of your wanted posters, that would be super awesome. So I'm going to drag this over here and drop this in, and I'm going to say, here is an image to use for your wanted poster. Boom. And I'm going to say upload. There you go. And then I'm going to pin this. I'm going to pin it to the channel. Oh yeah, pin it. So if you want to jump in here and get this, or if you come back later on and you want to find it, but a lot of people have chatted since then, all you have to do is click this pin messages button right here, and it will show you all the messages that have been pinned to the channel thus far. There are also some weird nightmare pictures of myself if you want to check it out. So there you go. You guys can use this King of the Midnight Court image that I did, and I think he looks pretty darn sinister. I think this would make a really great wanted poster image, so go for it. All right, now I'm going to jump into Photoshop real quick. Let me pull up my Photoshop. And I've got my starter file image, or my starter file open. So it just says in here another spiel of kind of what we're doing. Design a newspaper advertisement for a superhero or supervillain using Adobe fonts and the character styles panel. I'm going to do the wanted poster and kind of put some text around that. And this is how I'm going to get started. I am going to hide my info here, and I'm going to hide this text. And because you could do like a square for the ad for a hero, but since I'm doing the wanted poster, I'm going to crop this in and make it like poster form. So I just hit C on my keyboard. I'm holding Alt to resize from both ends, and I'm just going to crop here to around 2,000 pixels, like that. So that gives me kind of a nifty little thing here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my villain picture, like so, and I'm going to throw him in there like that. He looks absolutely terrifying. I would not want to catch this guy on an off day because he looks like he'd vaporize me with his strange eyes and whatever this crown is that I put him in. Fancy Friday already happening. Fancy Friday, it's going to be pretty fancy tomorrow, I think. I've got something planned for you guys. Ferry from Indonesia, welcome in. Kelly Townsend, a bit late. Don't worry, we are just diving in to our challenge for the day. You are totally here on time because I'm just starting it. Okay, so I've got my King of the Midnight Court, and I'm going to do the classic wanted poster formula where it just has like a square in the center of the piece that has, you know, the character looking like totally sinister and terrible, to warn people like, this is a bad dude, and if you see him, please tell the U.S. Marshal, because number one, we need to get them out of here, and number two, there's gold to be had. So I don't know why we're going like Wild West with this, but I figure like supervillain Wild West fits with wanted poster-esque stuff, so that's what we got to do. And I'm gonna actually do a clipping mask around a shape to kind of crop this instead of destroying my piece. So I'm gonna hit escape so I'm not on my crop tool anymore, and I'm gonna come down here to my shapes real quick, or you can hit U on your keyboard. I'm gonna right click here and make sure I'm not blocking that, and I'm gonna hit the rectangle tool like so. And I'm going to drag a square or like a rectangle kind of shape out like this. Now this is a little bright, but that's fine because we just really need to make sure that I get the piece in like it's supposed to. I'm kind of snapping to grids here, and I'm going to, I think that's probably good. Maybe I will drag it up just a little bit like so, because I want to make sure I have room for my text that's going to go above and below this image. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to make sure that this rectangle is dragged underneath the King of the Midnight Court image, and then I'm going to select the King's image. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say create clipping mask. So now I have this image clipped to that rectangle, and I can Control T to free transform this image, and I can kind of drag him around as I see fit to make sure that he's centered in like a cool way for this. I do want his crown to show. I think that's cool. So I'm going to actually leave that like so, and I'm going to free transform on my rectangle image and drag that down. So this is just like a really awesome way to be able to kind of edit this photo, really center it the way that you want without cropping and subtracting from the image in any way, and then realizing maybe later on, like, oh, I actually want more of this image to show, but I've removed pieces and now it doesn't look that great. So I'm going to group all of this together. I'm just selecting these layers by clicking the layers that I want. You can either hold shift and click down the line, it'll select everything in between, or you can actually, oops, I did a Control Z. Or you can actually click and then hold Control and select things out of order if you want to group things out of order. It's really up to you. I'm just selecting these two next to each other, so I'm going to hold Shift, and then I'm going to say Control G to group them together. I'm going to bump this up just slightly like that. Let's see. Yeah, like this. And then another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a gradient to kind of fade the image of our villain here up, like down into the white of the background. So in this group, I'm going to come in, I'm going to make a new layer with Control Shift in. I'm going to call this gradient, say okay. I'm going to make it a clipping mask. I definitely want to make it a clipping mask. I'm going to grab my gradient tool. If you don't see your gradient tool, it's probably because it's selected on the paint bucket, so you can just right click that, hit gradient tool. I'm going to make sure I'm selected on white, and then I'm going to hold shift so that I do a perfect straight gradient, and I am going to start adding some gradients like this just to kind of fade this up into the piece like so. Because I'm going to put text down here, and I just don't want the edge of this to be showing because I want to be able to blend it and make it look cool, but I still want more of his, you know, the character illustration to show, but I want more room for text right here. So that looks pretty darn cool, and we've got to start to kind of an interesting wanted poster. However, I feel like we need some texture before we start adding our text. So I have got like a paper texture. You guys can use whatever textures you want. You can group layers that are out of order. You can group layers that are out of order. However, Sean, it will pull them all together. For instance, if I were to grab, actually I'm just going to make a bunch of layers because I don't want to ruin the order of things. So I'm just going to make, oops. I'm just going to make a bunch of layers like so. Okay, so if I wanted to grab, for instance, layer 4 and layer 2, I can hit Control and go like that and say Control G. It pulls them from between 1 and 3 and groups them together like so. But it's not, you know, like it does pull them together. So if you don't want things to be together, you're better off just layering them separate. Okay. So now that I have this, I'm going to grab my paper texture. I've got a cool paper texture in my libraries. You folks do not actually have to use a paper texture. The beautiful thing about doing something like this is that you can actually use something like a cement texture. You can use a stone texture. You can use a noise texture if you want. It's really up to you. But I really like this paper texture. It's one of my go-to things. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that above my group, and I'm going to put it on a blending mode just to give it kind of a wanted poster feel. That multiply actually is pretty cool, but I'm going to flip through here and see if I, ooh, that's kind of neat. I kind of want things to be a little brighter though, so I'm going to actually put it on multiply, like so, and then I'm going to grab my group here. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to put it on top, and I am going to convert that to a smart object, and then I'm going to overlay it on top here just to make it a little brighter if I can. Let's see if that works. Does it? Does it work? Ooh, let's see that. I'm going to turn that on a lower opacity. I don't know if that's going to work. Sometimes I get lucky. Maybe what I'll do instead is I'll just turn this down on a lower opacity and see if I can brighten it like so. I can also come in here with my levels, Control L for levels, and I can brighten this that way. Yeah, there we go. That works. That works. I just want to brighten it up a little bit so I don't lose the image of my character like so. Now I'm going to play with the text. How much time do we have left? Oh, we've got about 10 minutes. Okay. So now I'm going to play with the text a little bit and make this look more like a wanted poster. So I've got my fonts that I've chosen that I've been using for the duration of our challenges, but I found a new font that I thought was cool, so I'm going to hit T. This is a font called Hell Dorado, and I think it's cool, and I think it makes a great wanted font, so I'm going to say wanted, and then I'm going to change that to black. Let's say okay, and I'm going to just free transform that and make it super large. This is I think it's a really good font for a wanted poster. I think it gets the point across. I think it makes it look really great. And I do want to make sure it's centered, you know, with the edge of my thing here. So I'm gonna go like so. There we are. So we got our wanted poster. I might actually bump the image of our guy down here. Boop, 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 like so. Boom, there we go. El Dorado, yes, isn't that neat? I like it. All right, so we got our wanted, and now what we want to do is add some cool text down below him, and we're gonna play with like lockups and stuff, and we don't have a lot of time to get into like some heavy detail, but I'm gonna run through some cool things in the character styles panel that can help you move fonts around, kind of alter them a little bit to fit within certain spaces without working destructively or converting to smart object and resizing with the transform and things like that. So first of all, let's write something down here. I'm gonna say the King of the Midnight Court. And I want to put his name on here too, because I feel like the wanted poster should definitely have a villain's name. And his name is Riven Toll. Boom. And that looks cool, I guess, but it's like, do you really want to put something like that at the bottom? It needs a little more oomph, for lack of a better term. It needs like a little more something. And we are going to give it that. So I'm also going to add, because we want to put his crime, right? So we're going to put crimes against, let's see, for crimes against the realm. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, so this is cool, but now let's play with the lockup, shall we? So I want to make this, first of all, I may convert this actually, just leave Riven Toll like this, and then make the rest of it like a different font. So I'm going to open the character styles panel. If you don't see it, you can go to Window and just hit Character here. And there's a lot of things you can do in here. First of all, I can change the width and spacing of my font, so I can make them kind of scrunch together if I want really close. I can make them super far apart, which I may actually do for this. And I can also change, I mean, you can change the spacing even more than 200. I could put it to 500 if I really wanted to, and like spread it way out just to, you know, block that text. It's really up to you. You can also do some fun things, like if I select everything, you can change the spacing of how much distance is between each line, which is pretty neat. And you can also come in, you can change the size of your text, and you can change how tall it is, how short it is. It's really up to you how you do this. I actually quite like everything being, I'm going to set this all at 75%. I kind of like this being a little shorter, to be honest, and I think that looks pretty cool. I'm going to change the size of this to, let's see if I can make it like a larger font. I'm gonna bump this in closer. Let's see, maybe like 100. No, maybe 200. Is 200 gonna do it? Let's do like 150. That works for me. I like that. So Rivendell, the King of the Midnight Court, I'm going to double click this and I'm going to change the spacing on this. So you can change the spacing differently for different parts of your text depending on what you really are looking to do with your project. So I'm going to leave it like that, maybe just a little bit. No, let's try like a 60 for here. I think maybe that'll work. Maybe more of a 30. Yeah, we'll do a 30 for now. How much time we have? Still, we got a few more minutes. Okay. And then I'm going to say for Crimes Against the Realm. And Crimes Against the Realm, I might actually make larger. Let's bump this all onto one thing here. I'm going to say, instead of 4 Crimes Against the Realm, I'm just going to say Crimes Against the Realm. I am going to spread this out a little bit. Let's put that on like a 150 as well. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Not 1500, please no. That's a nightmare. Maybe a 130. I kind of play around with this point a little bit just to see what we can get. Let's try, actually 75, maybe a 60 for this one. Let's try a 60. That may work. Maybe a 65. It kind of takes a little bit of noodling. That's pretty cool. And then maybe I'll stretch this out. And maybe I will also push it down a little bit. Boom. Okay. Rivendell, the King of the Midnight Court, wanted for Crimes Against the Realm. I think it looks pretty cool. I might change up to some different fonts and work on maybe a little more detail as far as like maybe distressing the text a little bit, which could be cool. But I think that this kind of gets the point across here. Oops, I just added a thing there. I might also bump this down and put like a little, let's see, put like a, let's see, let's put it at like a 30. Bump it way down like that. I like that. And then I might just put like a line, like use my line tool, my shape tool, and put a line right here. There we go. Let's see how that looks. Let's make it black. Ta-da! All right, I think that looks neat. How much time do we have? We are right on schedule. So I urge all of you guys to like kind of come in and noodle with your text, noodle with all of the stuff in the characters panel, and kind of see what you can create. I think it looks like kind of old-timey and funny. Especially because like it's a wanted poster, but it's clearly like a fantasy character. Definitely a super villain though, so super according to our theme, even though it's not like more of a modern type thing. I hope that all of you guys create some cool wanted posters and or ads in the paper calling all superheroes. You're definitely gonna need some help with this guy because he's terrible. He's an actual nightmare. Another happy challenge, General Kenobi! You should have opened up with hello there. It's good to see you. I also am a Star Wars fan and I love your name. What's up, Kelby? Welcome in. You're welcome, Susan. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Super. I see what you did there, Reverb Mike. But yeah, so this is my wanted poster. And tomorrow we're going to jump into how we can combine a little bit of everything we have learned for this round of challenges into like a kind of super project. We're going to get into a little bit of iPad work too, for those of you who like to work mobily. So I can't wait to hang out with you guys tomorrow. I think it's going to be sick. I think it's going to be awesome. I hope that you enjoyed our challenge for today, kind of playing with text, making a little poster. And I will see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time sharp. and also later today, actually. So I'll also see you at 3 p.m. Pacific time this afternoon. So much love, folks. Thank you, Adobe. Thank you, Adobe Live Chat, and I'll see you later.